All right. Okay, we're live over there.
We're live over here.
Okay, so how many are in the classroom?
We have 5 participants.
Okay.
I think four, and then you. So
Okay, so it's 6 o'clock, and we're welcome everybody that's there. Here, I'll look at that one. I'll have you do this one. That way I can see who's in the classroom. Okay. Flip this around. There we go. All right, everybody's piling in. Welcome to the first Cooking Around the World with Heidi. And unfortunately, we have calls coming in. But thank you for everybody's being here. We have 6 in here, the class right now. I see Shelly and Alan and Clint and Jeannie. So welcome to everybody who's here right now. And I'm going to try to get rid of some of these calls that are trying to come in. Jenna's here. Oh, I have to admit you. Okay. So we are going to be doing a quinoa dish. And okay, all right, I see. We've got more coming in. We're going to be doing a quinoa dish. There's Debbie. All right, good. Now we've got more people here. We've got 11, and I think there's about 16. And unfortunately, Gabriella, who actually sent us the dish, her pipes burst, and she's not going to be able to be with us today. So that's too bad. So I'd hate to hear that the gal who actually sent us the recipe is not going to be able to be with us. But never fear, we're going to be all right, and we're going to have the quinoa all to ourselves, I guess. All right. So it says about 11 of us are here, and there's about 16 in the class, and we know that Gabriella's not going to be here. So just about everybody's here now. So thank you guys for signing up. And we're going to have a great 12 weeks ahead of us. We are going to be ultimately making a recipe book. So those of you, please go ahead and send in your recipes, and maybe we'll have it featured. But definitely, if you're sending in your recipes, we're going to be putting a book together, a recipe book together. So go ahead and send in your recipes. We would love to see your recipes and hopefully get that featured. So that would be good. So we're going to start. Now we have 2 cameras going. We have the Zoom camera going, and we also have the camera going on my live YouTube feed. So one camera angle or the other.
Tara said that you can't be heard on Zoom.
Why can't I be heard on Zoom, I wonder? I wonder why.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Can I be heard now? I wonder. Hopefully. Maybe.
Yes.
Yes.
That's perfect, sister.
Okay, great. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to get started. I sent you guys a PDF of the PowerPoint that goes with tonight. And I know that you have to sign into the Google Drive, so that sometimes is a little challenging. If you're having problems with that, let us know afterwards. But hopefully you were able to take a look at it, because it's going to give us an overview of some of these ingredients that I wanted to talk about. So let's talk about that first, and then we'll finish off making the quinoa dish, okay? So let's go over here. I'm going to turn the camera around. And let's go over here and let's take a look at some of these ingredients that we've got going on here. So here is, I put the grains that we're going to talk about on this board. Hopefully you can see it. It doesn't look that good here on the Zoom. And like I said, we also have the YouTube feed going. But the first is the white quinoa. So there's white quinoa, and then this is the tricolored quinoa. This is where it's dried. So white quinoa, tricolored quinoa, which it comes in red, black, and white. So that's the tricolored altogether. This is chickpeas or garbanzo beans. They're called the same. Chickpeas are more the English version. Garbanzos more the Spanish version, but it's the same bean. So it's the same bean regardless. It's just kind of where you come from, what you call it. Here's the dried version. We're going to be working with the canned version, but this is the dried version, and I wanted you to take a look at that. The reason that it's good to be in dry version, it's great shelf life. And also, these are great plant-based proteins. Chickpea, I want to say maybe it's on your PowerPoint, but I want to say it's about 8 grams of protein per cup, and quinoa maybe as much as 14 grams of protein per cup. Don't quote me on that. Look at your PowerPoint. I have it on that. But they're very good plant-based protein, and they have a great shelf life. It's about 2 years shelf life. So, when we're talking about things like, your grid going down, they're great shelf life and great plant-based proteins. They're very healthy for you. Very, very healthy for you. So it's a great thing to be know how to cook this. Now, speaking of that, I have already cooked up the quinoa. So this is the cooked quinoa that we're going to be working with later when we're going to put all the ingredients together. So this is the cooked quinoa that's already cooked. And as you can see, I used the tricolored quinoa. So now let's talk about the spices. This is cumin. I have the cumin seed and the cumin ground. I wanted you to see it in both ways. There's the seed and there's the ground. Cumin is used in a lot of the Southwest recipes. It's also was found in the Bible, and I gave you the Bible scriptures on the cumin. In fact, it was used as part of the tithe. That's where it was found in the Bible. So that was interesting. I had actually never seen that before until we looked it up. Now, this is coriander. There's the seed of the coriander, and there's the ground of the coriander. Now, can somebody tell me where the coriander is found in the Bible? You guys remember?
Just maybe it's in the Passover.
I don't know that it's in the Passover. What is coriander? Something was like coriander. It was the best way that they could describe it. Do you remember?
Manna.
Manna, very good. The manna was like coriander. That was the best way that people knew how to describe it, was the manna. Now this is harissa. And harissa, this is the first time that I have worked with harissa. It's actually a combination of peppers. And so I actually have the packet over there, but it's kind of a smoky, peppery combination because it has paprika in it and different kind of peppers in it. So we'll talk more about the harissa. The other cool thing with harissa is you can mix it with oil and turn it into a paste. So it's pretty cool. I had never worked with it, but it's pretty cool. Now the other things that we're gonna do, we have some onions here. I had to cover up the onions, and even with the cover on the onions, you can still smell it. I'm cheating on the garlic. I am cheating on the garlic. I know I'm Polish and cheating on the garlic, but I have some minced garlic here. And then tomato, regular tomato, plus we actually have some tomato sauce. We have some tomato sauce, and then we have the garbanzo beans, the actual garbanzo beans that we're going to be working with. So I'm going to use some oil that we got in Israel. This is from Amit's olive orchard, I guess you would call it a vineyard, olive vineyard, orchard.
Orchard, probably.
But anyways, Amit is our tour guide, and he's also been on Pastor Paul's show a couple times. So some of you might remember Amit. He's also IDF, and he just recently was able to come away from the battleground. So he is in America right now. I'm going to give you his email. It's Amit.
Someone needs let in the Zoom.
Somebody needs let in the Zoom. Let me see. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, 2 needed let in. Thank you. Okay, so Amit's email, if anybody wants to email him about his olive oil, it's amit81@gmail.com. All right, and this one in particular, he named Naomi, which I know he has a daughter named Naomi, so he must have named this after his daughter. So we're going to start putting together the rest of the quinoa. So our sister said in the recipe, hopefully you all have your recipe. I've sent it all to you a couple different ways, so hopefully you all have your recipe. Our sister said to bloom the spices. So, Kristen, there's Kristen. Kristen is Israel's wife, if you guys don't know Kristen. Kristen has decided to come and help me because I needed another set of hands to help me with the filming. So say hi to Kristen, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
So Kristen and I bloomed the spices.
It smells wonderful.
Yes. So we bloomed them ahead of time, and blooming them means we took the oil and we took, I think it was 1 teaspoon of coriander and 2 teaspoons of cumin and 2 teaspoons of harissa, and we heated it up a little bit until the smell came up, which is what she meant by bloom. And then we took them off the heat and put them to the side. So we bloomed the spices and they did smell amazing. So that's what she means by blooming them. So that was fun and amazing. So we've got that accomplished already. So we've got that going. And so now we're gonna start, and at this point you might have to take both of the cameras. So now we're going to start with getting a little bit of oil going, and like I said, I'm using Amit's oil here, and we're going to get the onions going, onions and the tomato. So, and I do not like electric stoves. I want a gas stove. My house in Indiana has gas stoves, but here I don't. So I'm putting up with it. So bear with me about the electric stove. You can definitely make the heat on a gas stove exactly what you want. But here, when you're working with an electric stove, you have to really try to deal with it. So our sister Gabriella, who sent us the recipe, said what you do with the onions is you watch these onions until they get translucent. And that's why I wanted to do it with you guys, so that you can see that process of when the onions get translucent, because that is a very important part of it. And so we're gonna watch these onions and keep moving them, keep moving and grooving, our sister said. And then she also said we could put the tomatoes in at this point too, but not the garlic. And why not the garlic? Well, the garlic burns easy. It burns easier than the onions. And I learned that early on. So, you know, my grandmother is the one who taught me how to cook. And she was Polish. She was Russian, but my grandfather was Polish. So as it goes, you know, you usually cook for your husband. So she was an amazing Polish-Russian cook. And, you know, we were always cooking with onions and garlic, always cooking with onions and garlic if you're in that kind of an Eastern European household. And garlic will burn quicker than your onions. So that's why you don't put the garlic in when you're doing the onions first. So, and like I said, I don't like this stove, so it's just gonna have to be patient, and you wait on the stove And then all of a sudden, the stove burns. This is why I don't like an electric stove. But it's all right. In the meantime, I'll tell you about my grandmama. So she would take me on a chair and put me right up to the stove. That's how little I was. That's all I ever knew was a kitchen. So you guys tell me, who taught you how to cook? Or who got you interested in cooking? What are they saying, Kristen, on there?
Zoom. Who taught you guys how to cook?
My mom too. She likes the gas stoves too. So this has been great.
That's you, Alan. I can tell your voice.
Yeah, my mom's just a really good cook too, and I just, like you said, it passes down through tradition, and like definitely just thankful just to be able to learn about the history.
Mm-hmm. Was that you, Debbie?
I'm gonna have you deny that call really quick.
I like cooking on a gas stove. So I have a gas stove now, and I've always had a gas stove for the same reasons that you said, but she's the one that really taught me how to cook, and she learned, she was from Mississippi and didn't live too far from Louisiana, so I know how to cook all the Cajun dishes.
Ah, yes.
One more time, it's coming through. So if you want to.
And I hate electric stoves. They're horrible.
Who's that saying that?
Who just Sue?
Sue, yes, Sue, yeah.
One of my grandmas cooked on an old cast iron wood stove.
Wow.
Wow.
I've done that too. In one of my houses, I had a wood stove, and it had a real nice top on it. And I used to cook soups and chilies on it all the time.
Patricia on YouTube said her mother and her grandma Annie taught her how to cook.
Mm-hmm. These onions are starting to soften, but they haven't turned translucent yet, so you can show them how the onions are starting to change. So those are kind of the key things you start learning when you're cooking. As you see, they're starting to soften up, but they haven't turned that translucent yet, so that's what we're looking for.
YouTube wants to know what you're making.
So we're making quinoa, and these are the ingredients that are going to go into the quinoa. And I'm going to need a spoon to get the garlic out.
My mom was actually a very good cook, but I didn't learn how to cook from her early on. She used to be the cook, and my dad was the chauffeur for JL Kraft Cheese Company.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
And they also worked for the Mars Candy people too, but not nearly as long as they worked for Kraft.
Wow.
That was like during the Depression.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was growing up, she ran the kitchen in the Jewish Community Temple, Emmanuel, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh my. Well, that was some cooking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So my grandmother could make those potato pancakes, and somehow she can make them so thin. I cannot do that. I've tried and tried and tried to make the potato pancakes, but you have to make them so thin. So I've grated and grated and grated them, and I can't do it for some reason. I don't know how she got them so thin. So if somebody can give me the secret on that, I would love to know.
I think you have to mash the potatoes first.
As you're cooking, let's admit, Leanne.
She grated them. Because I would help her grate them right on down. But
I wonder if she didn't boil them a little bit and mash them up.
I don't know. I sure have never been able to do it.
Someone on YouTube said to shave the potatoes on the grater.
Uh-huh.
That works nice.
Shave them on the grater. Mine are always too thick because they are just very thin. And I just can't do it. But I found a couple nice restaurants that actually have the authentic kind. So that's nice, but I haven't been able to replicate it. So these are just about there. They don't quite have that sheen yet, but they're just about there. They're nice and soft and just about there. And like I said, with the stove, it makes you worry that, you know, all of a sudden they're going to be beyond there. Because the stove, you can't control the heat. So, and I may need a little bit of broth. So let me grab that. And our sister said to be careful with the broth because you don't want it to be soupy. So, you don't want it to get too soupy. It's not to be like soup. So, you may need just a hair.
Sister Heidi,
Yes, Alan.
I was gonna say that you put in the PDF and I can't find it now, but it said that this is a good meal for the Sabbath. Do you want to go into any of that? Like,
Oh, well, the one thing that was the quinoa is approved to be a grain, an unleavened grain that you can use on the Passover. So that is one of the things that I did put in the PDF.
yeah, that's so cool. Like the manna, like Jesus is the bread of life. So like the unleavened bread and the connection there is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put
Is
the
it
garlic.
also good cold?
This is good cold. I wouldn't eat it cold, but I think you can eat quinoa cold. I've seen, you know, salads cold before. So I'm adding the garlic now at this point, and then I'll add the spices.
How much garlic did you add?
2 teaspoons. Well, it's supposed to be 2 cloves, so I'm estimating 2 cloves because, like I said, I cheated and I used the already diced because it was supposed to be 2 cloves. And now I'm going to go ahead and add the actual spices to it. And like the sister said, at this point you got to keep it moving, 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 because you don't want anything to start burning. And I'll add the sauce. That'll help with the liquid. You smell it now?
Someone on YouTube said they can.
They can smell it.
Perfect for this cold weather we've been having.
Yeah. Now all the spices are coming up. The garlic's coming up. We've got the tomato sauce going in it now.
It was 30 below wind chilled again here last night.
Oh my. Now where is here?
Northern Wisconsin.
Oh my goodness.
And then over last weekend, when they had that snowstorm go through, I told some other people this too. Up in Escanaba, they had 33 inches of snow.
Oh my goodness. Now that used to be fun when I was a kid. We'd do a snow fort, but it's not fun anymore.
I agree.
Not anymore. My brother hit me in the head when we were kids, shoveling out the driveway, and got me good. I had to go get stitches.
Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got that. We got this going pretty nice now. It almost looks like a soup or stewish. So now that's blending all those flavors. It's smelling wonderful, isn't it, Kristen?
Amazing.
And I'm ready to add the garbanzo beans at this point, or the chickpeas, whichever you want to call them. I love chickpeas. Of course, this is the ingredient for hummus. So when we're in Israel, I am a hummus junkie. I have to eat hummus morning, noon, and night, and Kristen, I think, does too.
Yes.
So we love our hummus. And chickpeas are so good for you. And so I try to do as much gluten-free as possible. I'm not 100%, but if you can find chickpea flour, it's pretty good substitute for regular flour. It's not that easy to find, but if you can find it, it's a pretty good substitute for regular flour. It's pretty good as far as the consistency, and you really can hardly tell the difference. So I would recommend chickpea flour. And again, it's got that boost of protein in it that regular flour doesn't have. So chickpea flour is really good. And I know in my pasta in there, I have pasta that's made out of chickpea as well. So we have it all made now. All we have to do now is add the quinoa back. And there you go. So let me grab the quinoa and we've got it. I just think it's such a shame that our sister that sent in the recipe can't be with us tonight. Her pipes froze, so she's dealing with the problem as well of all this cold. So we can send out some prayers her way.
Who is that?
Her name is Gabriella. She's the one who sent us this this quinoa recipe. And her pipes froze, so she can't be with us. So
For those of you watching, the colors are so vibrant. I don't know if it's coming across on line or not, but it's amazing.
yeah, it's colorful, it's very fragrant. And like I said, with the 2 plant-based proteins in it, it's very healthy for you. So it's amazing. And we thank Sister Gabriella for sending it to us.
Does that make it hot, spicy?
No, just the one spice. Harissa is a little spicy, but because it has peppers in it. Oh, I was going to tell you. I think we have it up here. I was going to read off all the, because harissa is a combination of spices. So it's smoked paprika, crushed red pepper flakes, black pepper, coriander, cayenne pepper, cumin, salt, bird's eye chili pepper, and garlic and onion. So it's a combination, harissa is. So it's the only one that's really a little bit hot. But the rest of it, no. So there you go. That's our first dish that we made together. Isn't that amazing?
It looks HD and beautiful, and I think the Mediterranean diet is the best diet for anti-inflammatory and just healthy living. So yeah, this is wonderful.
Yes, you're right. That would have some anti-inflammatory properties to it, especially with those spices. So you're correct. It would have some anti-inflammatory properties going with it as well.
Do you
So
want to take this over to show them?
yes. All right. So there's our dish all done. Anybody have questions? Do y'all have questions?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. What do you guys want to make next week? Anybody have any recipes you plan on sending me that we want to try?
Well, we have 12 weeks, but one of the weeks, can we do the Passover meal, or is that possible?
No, that's a lot. We're only going to do one recipe. The Passover meal has a lot of things, a lot of things to it.
YouTube said shish kebabs to go along with that.
Shish kebabs. That sounds really good.
I have a question about this.
Uh-huh.
What do you eat with this, and how would you serve it?
You can serve it as a side dish, but like I said, because it's got the two plant-based proteins in it, it can be a standalone for that matter. Especially, you know, if you're on a vegetarian diet, it's a standalone. But it could be a salad too, for that matter. It could be considered a salad at part of your dinner. So, or you know, quinoa's a lot like rice. So it could be, you know, like a side dish like rice. My grandmother used to make couscous. Do you guys know what couscous is? Couscous is a lot like quinoa, so it's like rice as well. So.
It looks like it would go good with chicken too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or any kind of meat for that matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's great.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So send in your
So what kind of dish? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I didn't know what kind of dish that you would be interested in. I mean, like, for next week as far as a main dish, or I mean, I guess it has to be time sensitive to be able to make it, to be able to put the ingredients together, during this time frame.
Well, send in all your dishes and then we'll just work with it. Like if I have to do half of it made up so that we can have time, we can do that, you know. Send in, but send it in and because we're doing two things. It's not just, we're going to be making the dishes, but also we're putting together a cookbook. So either way, you know, send in all your recipes that you would like to help us put together a cookbook as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Can you add olives to this?
You could add olives to it. Yeah.
Got a question. Are you on Zoom as well? So yes,
Yes.
we are on Zoom.
We are on Zoom, and for the ones on YouTube that would like to join the cooking class, you can still do that. You would email Tara, and that's how you would be in the Zoom class. I mean, that's how you would be in Zoom next week. You can still do that. It's open all week still, and the class is free.
How long does it cook for?
Well, just whatever I just
Just
did.
until it's warm, I guess.
Okay, so like 10 minutes?
Yeah, I think it took me almost 20, didn't it? Yeah, I think it took me almost 20 minutes. You mostly just, you know, watch all the ingredients. Don't let them burn. That's the biggest thing, kind of just keep stirring everything so nothing burns on you.
I missed the very beginning. What did you do with the spices? You put them in the pan with what?
Oil.
What kind of oil did you use?
Well, I have all kinds of oils here, but
Because I won't use any of those, like canola oil or any of that. That's horrible stuff.
Right. Let's see. Let me turn my camera again. This is the oil that I use. I have a real nice store here called Ancient Olive Oils. I use this one because it only has butter in it, but I'm kind of a junkie on their stores. Like this one I use for beef sometimes because it's got a little kick of the chipotle in it. And
Nice.
yeah, and then this one has a little Italian seasoning in it. That's nice with chicken sometimes. Sometimes they have a blood orange one I'll use sometimes too. But it's a really nice olive oil. And they have high grade, just plain olive oil too. This one I used to cook with. That's the one from Israel, from Amit, he was our tour guide. And like I said, he currently is in the IDF, but he just made it to the States, and he's doing a tour. He may come to Freedom Fellowship. We're talking to him. He was on Pastor Paul's television show, maybe 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
Have you ever made orange chicken?
not orange chicken, no, haven't. You got a recipe?
No. Well, I've made it myself, but it's not a
No.
I just throw things together.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
are the best kind.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Lex,
I don't have a recipe. Like I said, I look online and say, oh, this is what it has in it, and then I go throw things together and make it.
very good. Lexi just found a Polish deli here in Leesburg. It's just the next town over, and we got some real Polska kielbasa. I used to help my grandmother. We would make at Easter. We would make our own homemade sausage that would last for a whole year. So I mean, we would
That
cut.
was beef.
Yeah, we would make it with everything. We would just cut up the meat and have our own casings and everything and all the spices, and we would make our own, and it would last for a whole year.
I do the same thing with my taco stuff. I
Yeah.
just take in my not a slow cooker. What is that thing? So
Instapot?
Instapot.
Mm-hmm.
I just take my hamburger and I put it in there, and well, like yesterday, I took a pound of hamburger beef and a pound of turkey burger, and I mixed it all together, and I put it in there, and I fried it up before I threw other things in it, and I make my whole taco thing, and it's like fills that 6-quart cooker half up, and then I use that, like I put garlic and I put onion. Well, I've got onion powder, and sometimes I use real onion and big can of diced tomatoes,
Mm-hmm.
and 2 cans of Bush's spiced beans,
Mm-hmm.
and I throw that in there together. And then I, like yesterday, after it was done cooking, and it only takes, after you cook the meat, the rest of it don't take any time at all. I cook it for 9 minutes or something. Sometimes 5, sometimes 13. Depends on how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And then like yesterday, I cooked angel hair pasta
Mm-hmm.
and put that over the angel hair pasta. And today, I used some of it, and I just I put it in a bowl, and then I put 5 of my newly baby hens are starting to lay, so they're real little eggs. So I put 5 eggs in there, kind of mixed it up, threw it in the microwave, eat it with chips,
Mm-hmm.
and then tomorrow, who knows what I'll do with it.
That sounds delicious.
It is delicious.
So on YouTube, they
Oh, yeah,
said
put the taco
avocado oil
seasoning
is
in
good.
it, too.
Yes.
And coconut oil holds up really well at high temperatures.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alyssa.
I only use coconut oil or olive oil.
Yeah. Alyssa, do you have a question?
No, I made bread yesterday for the first time.
Oh wow.
And it came out pretty good. And we had it last night and tonight. And we had angel hair pasta and spicy sauce.
Mm.
And it came out. It was like first time I ever made it. I was so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have to tell everybody. My friend, it's kind of goofy, but let's see.
I'm a failure at making bread.
It's really easy, and I was so surprised.
Yeah.
It came out like this. Maybe it needs to be over here. Oh,
There it is.
It's on the wrong side.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, good job.
Mine never turns out.
Yeah.
It looks like something you get at Panera Bread or something. That was really good.
Yeah.
It was like a round little play. We were like, I was so excited because my dad used to make bread all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried it a long time ago, and it was like a big glove, and like, it's not working. But I found a recipe that was really easy, and it didn't take a lot, and you
send it to me. Yes.
I'm
Okay.
so excited. It came out like that.
Yeah, you did a good job. My daughter-in-law, Sarah, she loves to make bread. Drew's wife.
Indian fry bread would be good.
Now, what is that?
Indian fry bread, you've never had it?
No, I don't believe so.
All right. I'll see if I can't find a recipe for it and send it to you.
Okay, that'd be good. Yeah.
YouTube wants
You do that
Debbie
on the stove
to share
top,
her
you know,
recipe.
deep fry pan.
Wants who?
Debbie to share her recipe.
Debbie.
Yeah. YouTube wants Debbie to share her recipes.
You hear that, Debbie? YouTube is asking.
Or was there any specific ones? Or?
Nope, she just said please have her share her recipes.
Okay, well, I'll send several to you, Heidi.
Okay, that's great. All right, well, thank you guys so much. I think we've had fun our first night.
Yes, Sister Heidi. My mom said she wants to make it tonight, or make it up. She wants to get the recording and make this recipe. Thank you guys so much. And thanks, Sister Gabriella, to pray for her that she gets out of that situation with the pipes.
Yes, definitely. All right, Alan, you want to go ahead and pray while you're here?
Sure. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you for Sister Heidi and Sister Gabriella, Lord, who gave us this wonderful recipe, Lord. I pray, Lord, when the enemy comes in like a flood, Lord, you'll raise a standard against them, Lord. So I pray, Lord, you will help the plumbers fix those pipes, Lord, and just bless Sister Heidi and Pastor Paul and all the helpers that made this show possible, Lord. I pray, Lord, that you would bless us and keep us. Make your face shine upon us, Lord. I just pray that you give us peace tonight, Lord, and just be with us, Lord, and give us your shalom. In Yeshua's name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank
Amen.
you.
Love you
Thanks,
guys.
Heidi.
Yes, love you guys. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
All you.
Bye.
Bye.
So I just click the X.
Thank you guys for being here on YouTube. Thank Kristen for helping us.
Yay.